Today I'm going to be sharing my curriculum choices for my first grade student for the current homeschool year. Hey y'all, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name's Haley. I am a mom to 3 little boys. The oldest 2 are homeschool age, and we are entering our 3rd year of homeschooling. Today, I'm going to be sharing my curriculum choices for my first grade student. I am actually way behind on getting this video up. We've already been doing school for like a month, but not had time to actually record just our curriculum choices, and I like to share that with you guys because I like watching curriculum choice videos. So I'm going to sit this coffee cup down though because I can see myself spilling it all over me any minute now. But like I was saying, I'm just going to be sharing curriculum picks in this video. After I film this one, I'm actually going to be filming a video on how the first month of homeschooling has gone. So if you want to see that video, it should be up not too long after this video goes up, if all goes as planned. So I'm going to start with sharing kind of the primary subjects for my son, so math and language arts. When we get to the language arts piece, I'm going to pause and explain a little bit about my son's situation. He has some special needs when it comes to the language arts side of things, and we'll discuss that a little bit when we get to that part. Also, he's 6. He just turned 6 a couple months ago. I know a lot of times people want to know how old a child is when they're kind of looking at different curriculum videos. So he's 6. This will not come as a surprise to you guys if you've watched any of my recent videos that we are using Simply Charlotte Mason's Arithmetic book number 1 for him. I'm also using this same program with my oldest son. We are on book number 3 with him. We just wrapped up book number 2 not too long ago, and we love this program. I've talked a lot about it in recent videos, so I'll link them down below. But it is straight arithmetic. I love the way that from the very beginning, when you explore a number, that you look at it from all aspects. So for example, just real quick, we were on the number 12 today. My son knows how to count well past 12. However, we take the number 12, we count out 12 of coins, we count the number backwards as well, we split it into groups of 2, we count it by 2. He tells me how many groups of 2 are in 12. We count it by 3s. We count it by 4s. We count it by 6s. So already right there, you're kind of incorporating division, multiplication. You're going forwards, you're going backwards. I could go on, but I love it. I love this series. It's so straight to the point. There's no games, but there are manipulatives. I love it. I'll link those other videos down below in case you want to learn a little bit more about it. I've not done a flip through of book number 1, but I did do a flip through of book number 2, maybe. I think that's the one I did. But basically you have the arithmetic book, and then you have grid paper, and that's it. That's our arithmetic choice for this year. Okay, next up we have the language arts piece. So for this child, for language arts, we are focused on phonics and handwriting with some spelling practice mixed in there, just kind of organically with the phonics side of it. And earlier this year really, we used the Abeka program, and I think it was K4 phonics, and it was a phonics program. I was not impressed with what I got for what I paid for it. I paid almost $300 for the program. I did not find anything in there just mind-blowing. It was just a phonics program with honestly a lot of moving pieces. So we're not going back with Abeka at this point or anytime in the foreseeable future that I can imagine. But for our phonics program this year, hang on, let me back up because I told you guys that I wanted to explain his situation. So my son has a speech disorder called childhood apraxia of speech. It is a motor planning disorder. So essentially his brain does not communicate with his mouth in order to tell his mouth how to move his lips, his tongue, in order to make different letter sounds. He has the speech capabilities of a child somewhere between 2 and 3 years old. He attends speech therapy. He's been attending speech therapy for years and probably will continue to work on that, because he has to be trained how to make each one of those mouth movements, and it's very difficult for him. It's not just say, oh, put your tongue here and he can put his tongue there. It's very hard for him to get his tongue into that place. So even once he's able to do it, it doesn't automatically translate over into his everyday speech. So all of that said, when it comes to a phonics program for him, I have to be aware of his special needs. So this year I decided to just kind of put together a phonics program that I thought would work for him based on his needs. And I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous to share this online just because we did use Abeka previously, and what we're doing this year is like thought to be complete opposite direction. But we are using a combination of the booster cards from The Good and the Beautiful. I used The Good and the Beautiful's booster cards with my oldest son last year for his reading fluency, and they worked really well. So we're not using the language arts program. We're just using the booster cards. I printed them out online for free, and we are combining that with Explode the Code for phonics mastery. Like I said, we've been doing this for the past month. It's going wonderfully. I will say that these booster cards, it's lovely to just have, it's just the one set, but I divided it into two. Just having these cards to work from instead of all the different moving pieces has been nice for me as the teacher. And I can actually see that some of the ways that the phonics are taught in here are very similar to the way that Abeka teaches some of their phonics. This is primarily what I'm talking about. So you have your consonant vowel letter blends here in the front that you have to master before starting the course. And that's very similar to what we were doing with Abeka already, because they do the blend ladders, and this is very similar to that. So it's been a nice transition for him. How we've been combining the two of these are we just go through some of these booster cards every day. I pick a couple of them, really as long as his attention allows, because like I said, it is really hard for him to put those letter sounds together. So we do a couple of those booster cards, and then we pick one page from Explode the Code. He's doing great with it. No complaints so far. He is able to read the little booster books from The Good and the Beautiful. And he's really surprised me with how well he's done with this Explode the Code book. Even though sometimes whenever he says the word, he doesn't pronounce it correctly, and I have to have him kind of give me the definition of what it is that he said in order for me to make sure that we're attaching the right word or the right meaning with the word, and then I can say the word back to him, articulate it correctly. Even though we're having to do some of that as an extra step, it's still going really well, and his spelling is doing really well. So he's able to, I can say, bat, and he knows how to spell bat, and I can say pan, and he knows how to spell pan. So it's working well. I'm happy with the choices we made so far. So that's the phonics part of it. The other part of language arts that we're focused on is handwriting. So we're still using the handwriting tablet from Abeka. I already had this. We had not finished it. Paid a pretty penny for it. So we're going to continue with this until we run out. Once all of these handwriting sheets are done, I'll purchase another handwriting curriculum. Not sure what that will be yet, but we still have several of these pages. And we are also utilizing just a 50-cent composition book that I picked up at Walmart. I will write something up at the top. I use 2 lines to write something out. So I'll write, say I put the cat sits or something like that. And then he can go back over it and trace it or copy it right below it. And then I have him draw a picture and we paste it to the bottom of the book. So this is a way for him to practice his handwriting skills, as well as get a good feel for sentence structure with a capital letter and a punctuation mark. And it has him practice some of those phonics words that he's learning. He's able to then write them out. I try to overlap those words from the booster cards or from Explode the Code into what he's copying into this little notebook here. And again, it's working well. My oldest son also does this for his copy work every day. They really like having these little notebooks to put a picture in after they do their handwriting, copy work, whatever you want to call it. Everything else that we're doing with him comes from Ambleside Online. So I've shared in previous videos that we were transitioning over to the Charlotte Mason approach. We were going to be utilizing Ambleside Online. So he is doing year 1 from AO, and I'm not going to share all of the books that go along with that curriculum. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is a literature-based curriculum. So you have lots of different living books that cover a wide range of subjects. So history, there are fairy tales, there's just literature picks, natural history, biographies, a wide range of subjects, and they're all covered through different books. So I'm just going to share a few of the books that we've been loving so far and telling you how they're used in the curriculum, just so you can get a feel for it. So first up, we have Paddle to the Sea. And this book, I believe, falls under natural history. Yes, that's how they have it classified. And in this book, you are following a canoe through the Great Lakes regions of the United States. So you're getting some geography, you're getting some science, you're just getting a combination of different things. And we are utilizing this printed out map to actually track Paddle's journey through the Great Lakes. This is probably his favorite book so far. So we started with that. Next, we have a Benjamin Franklin biography. Now, this is not the Benjamin Franklin biography that they suggest you purchase in the book list, but this is the one that I purchased because I found it cheap and used, and the book from the curriculum was quite high. There's an ebook version of it, but I didn't want to utilize an ebook version of it. This is just the biography for term 1. For term 2 and term 3, he will have a different biography selection. I also don't have a physical copy of it, but for history, we're utilizing our island story. It is the history of Great Britain. I don't have it in front of me for the exact time period of history that he's covering with his readings this year, but I'll look it up and put it up on the screen for you guys. Another way that he is learning history is he has his own personal timeline that we have made here. So this is just a timeline for his personal life, but it kind of gives him an idea of like when he was born, when other people in his life were born, when a certain event took place. So like a vacation we went on or something like that. And I just have him add one event to his timeline once a week. At the same time that my oldest son does it from his history readings, we add something to his personal timeline at that same moment. Okay, a few more books that we're reading from for him. We have this James Herriot's Treasury for Children. We also love this book. It's just wholesome stories about a vet and the animals that he sees and on a farm. We love it. It's cute. And then we are also reading from Aesop's Fables. We read a couple of these every week. And then from this Blue Fairy book. These are different fairy tales. We've only read Beauty and the Beast so far from here. This is not the same as reading like a modern day retelling of Beauty and the Beast. The language in here is very complex. It introduces the child to all sorts of different vocabulary. It's been fun to read this challenging vocabulary to a 6-year-old and have him walk away with understanding it, because sometimes that's not to say that he understands like every word and can define it or anything like that, but he's able to follow the storyline. And it's just so fascinating to me because sometimes I struggle even to read some of the words that are in here because the way that it is written is a lot different than modern retellings are. So it's just been fun to see his little wheels turning and know that he is just being exposed to so many rich stories with rich language. And yeah, it's been fun. Okay, so in addition to all of this, we do map drills together as a family. I also practice like his calendar work separate from all of this. I don't have any special resources for that. We just do it during our morning time. We also read poetry. We have artist study, some music study. We do nature study, all of those different things, but I don't have a specific curriculum to share with you guys. And I'm sorry that the sun is coming in all weird now. But a lot of those things come from the Ambleside Online website and the resources that they have provided over there. So I don't have anything to show you guys, but if you're interested in what that looks like, you can go to their website. It's all completely free to check out. Everything else that I have is done family style. So like Spanish and our handicrafts and all of that, we do family style. So I don't have anything specifically to film for that. I'll share more about those things in my monthly recap video that I'm hoping to record here in just a minute. So that's it for today. Let me know down below if you guys have any questions about anything that I shared today, and I will be glad to try and answer them for you. So thank y'all for watching, and I will see you next time.